Tonight was the biggest night in music, and Los Angeles, California will never be the same. They call it the City of Angels. Tonight, it definitely was a city that brought a lot of great music, a lot of great performances, and definitely had one person standing on top of the mountain as the best performer of the year. What's up, everybody? My name is Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio. We welcome you to a special edition of the Mikey's Mindset as we're recapping the 2015 Grammy Awards, which was held live tonight from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. We're just gonna dive right in. There's a lot to cover, but we're just gonna dive right in. It's kicked off with the legendary AC/DC. They rocked the house, basically rocked the house to the core. Uh, Anthony, you talked about it, so why don't you lead off? Go ahead, it's yours.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Cerebral Viper Michael Fletcher. Hello, friends. It is ridiculously over. Anthony Florio here with you for this special edition of the Mikey's Mindset, indeed, as we are going to recap the Grammy Awards as best as we can. Um, yes, AC/DC, the legends, the living legends, one of our personal favorites. They kicked it off. Um, they did two songs, perhaps their two biggest hits. First, they started off with Back in Black, and then after that, they did our personal favorite AC/DC song. Well, our personal favorite song because of when they used it. It was used, of course, to promote the 1998 SummerSlam pay-per-view event from Madison Square Garden, The Highway to Hell. I mean, that's the song that did it for us. I mean, that summer of '98, man, I'm telling you. I mean, we had a lot of fun with that song. We used to rock out to that song all the time. And oh yeah, but Back in Black, I mean, that's just as good too. But I would have liked to have seen a little more. I mean, I would have liked to have seen maybe Hell's Bells, throw some of that in there. Um, or of course, for those of you who are about to rock, we salute you. I would have loved if they had done that. But nonetheless, I mean, AC/DC, one of the greatest bands in the world, one of the most successful bands in the history of classic rock, which, as I'm sure you all know, you especially, Fletch, I'm a big fan of that. That's my wheelhouse. So, definitely, there's nothing left to say, man. I mean, I was not expecting to see that. When I saw them, you know what I had to do. Mark out moment. Mark out moment. That's exactly what it was. I mean, it's the first time ever that AC/DC performed at the Grammy Awards. Freaking awesome, man. Back in Black, Highway to Hell. Wow, does it get any better than that? I don't know if you saw it, Fletch, but all I know is it was definitely, for me, a major mark out moment. How do you feel about it?
So unfortunately, I didn't get to see it. I kind of missed it, so unfortunately, we'll have to move on. The first award of the night went the best new artist. The winner was Sam Smith, and this started a great trend for him as well. We're just gonna go right into the next part, which was Ariana Grande. I didn't see it. Anthony, did you see that performance?
No, actually, I was sidetracked. I was taking care of something around the house, so
Okay, so
I
we'll
was
just
unable
move.
to see that.
All right, we'll just move on. So the next part we had was Tom Jones and Jessie J. So what did you feel about that one?
Now, this I saw. This is what I saw as soon as I took care of the business I had to take care of around the house. Yeah, uh, Tom Jones. What can you say about Tom Jones? You know, one of the greatest singers of all time. I mean, man who has done it all. I mean, a man who gave us such great hits like, of course, It's So Unusual and Delilah and What's New, Pussycat. I mean, those are his three big ones. Those are the three biggest songs he ever did. And I tell you what, I mean, I may not have been around when he peaked. He was way before my time, but you know what? The man still looks good. He sounds great, and major love to the great Tom Jones. I mean, love his body of work. He is, you know, Welsh singer out of Wales. I mean, awesome man. You know what I mean? I tell you. And then of course Jessie J. We all know her. I mean, a little firecracker out of the UK, if you will. Definitely representing the new school, and they 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 broke out. You lost that love and feeling. I mean, what an honor that was. That was fun to watch. I got to be honest with you. I mean, I know somewhere the Righteous Brothers, Bill Medley and Bobby Hatfield. I got to tell you, you know, they're definitely, they probably had a big smile on their face knowing that Tom Jones and Jesse J not only covered their song, but they did it justice as well. I mean, Tom Jones sounded great, Jesse J sounded great. I mean, it was a nice treat for all of us to see that. It was well done, very good to say the very least. I mean, honestly, there was hardly any bad performances tonight. I mean, with the exception of one, well, really wasn't bad. It was just, bizarre. Spoiler alert. Move on.
All right, and with that said, we go to the next award, which was for the best pop vocal, which actually went to Pharrell Williams for Happy. And then we had a performance by Miranda Lambert. And Anthony, I know you're a very big fan of hers because of her natural beauty. So, but talk about the performance.
Blake Shelton, you're a lucky man. Simple as that. Simple as that. I mean, but I got a lot of love for him too. I mean, his body work on the voice. We'll get into Blake Shelton another day. But oh man, Miranda Lambert, wow, she looked stunning. Let me tell you, she looked absolutely stunning. I mean, the outfit that she had on looked absolutely amazing. Great performance all around. I mean, you know, and Michael Fletcher, I remember you referred to her in the past as the Dirty Blonde, and that's exactly what she was. I mean, she definitely brought that out tonight. I mean, yeah, fantastic performance. I mean, that's why she is one of the biggest female superstars in country music. I mean, right up there with your Carrie Underwoods, and well, her and Carrie Underwood right now are the cream of the crop when it comes to the female side of country music. I mean, we do have a rising star on our hands, which we'll get into in a little bit, who performed with country music royalty. Oh, by the way, and I do say that, and I do mean that, because the gentleman she performed with is certainly one of the all-time greats in the history of country music. So, yeah. But Miranda Lambert, now you know why. Now you know why. I mean, yes, I do. I will admit I do have a little thing for her. I'll be honest with you, but um, yes, from a that's from a personal standpoint. From a professional standpoint, for this review for the purposes of this video here, I thought she rocked it as always. I loved the outfit. She looked amazing. Simple as that. So well done. And that's why you and Carrie Underwood are the 1A and 1B when it comes to the female side of country music. And once again, Blake Shelton, lucky man. Move on.
All right, and the next award was for the best pop album, which actually went to Sam Smith. That actually gave him 2 wins for at least for the actual show itself. And then the next performance was Kanye West, and this is where I actually got to see it for myself, and I thought he did a pretty good job. I'm not the biggest Kanye West fan, and I'll admit that, but I thought he did a solid performance. I loved the lights out in the entire Staples Center. There's one spotlight right on the staging itself. He was walking around it, and he wasn't really rapping. It was more performing. You could hear the auto tune. I thought he did all right. I wasn't overly enthusiastic about it, but I thought he did a good job. Anthony, what did you think?
Well, I'll be honest. I I feel the way I feel about Kanye West, Fletch, is I feel the same. It's the same way I basically feel about Justin Bieber. Can't stand him. Noggin a diva. Um, Personally, I can't stand the guy, honestly. But, however, when it comes to this performance, I will agree. I mean, this was actually, fairly decent. I'll give him credit. I mean, this was actually pretty good. The song, even though I've never been, nor will I ever be a Kanye fan. Never ever will be. considering where I come from. But you know, I actually thought it was a solid performance. I mean, you know, pretty good. I mean, yeah, no rapping, no noggin diva nonsense. So yeah, I'll give him a pass for this one. So simple as that. So I have nothing left to say. Can't stand the guy. Let's just move on.
All right, the next thing we had a live performance by the legendary Madonna. Anthony, it is yours.
Oh my goodness. He, let me just say this. Are you sure he's 56 years old? Because he doesn't look it.
She looks amazing, man.
Stunning.
Stunning.
Wow. I mean, how many? I think we can. I think it's safe to. I think it's simple enough to say she just added another chapter to her Grammy legacy. Because how many countless moments has she provided on the Grammy stage? Countless. I mean, from the music performance back in I think it was 2000 or 2001 to of course the stuff that she was doing beforehand, the old stuff back in the 80s, you know, back when she was breaking out. And yeah, I mean, she's she is probably the most respected female singer of all time because you know she stays true to who she is and you know she just you know finds a way. She, if for those who were there tonight in Staples, who were fortunate enough to see that live, if I was there, and I know if you were there too, Flex, I mean, you would get the goosies, a la J-Lo on American Idol. You would feel the electricity running through your veins. I mean, she still got it, man. After all these years. I mean, she's been doing this almost 30 years. I mean, we were we were babies when she broke out. I mean, when she broke out, you know, with the Borderline and you know the Lucky Star and Holiday, when she debuted in right around 83, 84, back when she was, you know, gracing the stage of American Bandstand with my all-time favorite, you know, my all-time hero, the late great Dick Clark, God rest his soul. Yes, I mean, and the megastar that she became. I mean, you know, all her other hits, like a Virgin and Material Girl, and like a Prayer, and all these legendary songs. Of course, she was, you know, very promiscuous back in the day. Um, but then, right around the late '90s, early 2000s, you know, she wasn't as provocative as she used to be. I mean, she, you know, became, you know, more, you know, conservative, and that's what I loved about her. I mean, I love the conservative style. I mean, not really into that promiscuous stuff. Um, I know my partner in crime might have a little slight disagreement with that, but that's for another day. But still, I mean, 56 years old. I mean, is still doing what she's doing at the level that she's doing it. I mean, throw it up, man. You just gotta throw it up. Throw it up, Fortune 4 style. I mean, she is absolutely incredible, and I mean, one of the greatest female singers of all time. I mean, if we ever did a power ranking for greatest female singers of all time, there is no doubt about it. Madonna would be on my list. Where I don't know, but you would definitely. I mean, you'd be an idiot to leave her out of any top 10 power rankings of all time. Because that is how awesome and amazing she truly is. And again, I ask, 56 years old, she doesn't look it. I'm sorry, she does not look it. She does not look it. Well done, Madonna. Well done, my dear. And we appreciate and respect everything you've done for the business, controversial or not. Fletch, how do you follow that?
No, I agree with you. I thought she did an amazing job tonight, and I was even hinting that to my friend Kaiser Butler. Me and her had a text chat during the Grammys tonight, and I told her I was like, "There's no way she's 50. She's in her 50s, and she looks like that. She looks like she was in her 40s, man. She looked amazing. So no doubt about it. No disagreement here about how great she was, and she absolutely tore the house down. I think we all can agree with that. Alright, so the next award we had was the Best Rock, which went to Beck, and then Ed Sheeran hit the stage, and then actually was joined by a certain individuals that Anthony loves very much, ELO, and I'll get into this first. And I thought both performances were very good. I thought they were very solid. Eric Sharon had an amazing year this year, no doubt about it. And I love his music. Even Kaiser loves his music as well. And then for ELO, I'm not the biggest ELO fan like Anthony is, so I'm gonna let him go down that trip of memory lane. But I thought everything was great. I thought they did a great job with it. So Anthony, it's yours.
Yes. As far as the solo performance goes that Ed Sheeran did, with John Mayer. I mean, he was with John Mayer, and I told this to you earlier, Fletch. I consider Ed Sheeran John Mayer 2.0, the second coming of John Mayer. I mean, absolutely incredible. I mean, very very good performance. I mean, now I know what all the now I know what all the fuss is about. I mean, he is one of the biggest stars in the music world today. I mean, he's in that top 10 list. I mean, he's right up there with your Taylor Swifts and your One Directions and your Megan Trainors and your Iggy Azaleas, if you will, Ariana Grande. I could go on and on and on. Sam Smith and Beyonce and all these others. But yes, I mean, well done, very good performance with John Mayer there. That little ballad of his. So well done there. And yes, a second mark out moment. This is a personal mark out moment for me because I grew up on the music of ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra. My man Jeff, the lead singer. Yes, I mean, great to see him. I mean, breaking out a little evil woman. Oh yeah. I mean, to be quite honest, that's my second favorite ELO song. My favorite ELO song of all time is "Turn to Stone." You gotta look it up. I mean, if you ever find it on the YouTube, it's there. If you ever heard the song of "Turn to Stone," I mean, you'll definitely love it. I mean, yes, I mean Jeff Lynne. I mean, Jeff Lynne is the lead man. He's the one who put it together. I mean, been I can't believe this. I mean, out of the UK, Birmingham, England, released 11 studio albums between 1971 and 1986, and another album in 2001. You know, it wasn't just Jeff Lynne. It was also Roy Wood. Roy Wood and Jeff Lynne were the two brainchilds of the band. You know why? Because they had a desire to create modern rock and pop songs with classical overtones, and that's exactly what they did here. And that's why, you look at all all of the great hits that they had. I mean, not just Turn to Stone and Evil Woman. I mean, you know, you gotta look at you know, their early stuff from the 10538 Overture, Mr. Radio, Roll Over Beethoven, Queen of the Hour, Showdown, Mama Ma Belle, and Can't Get It Out of My Head, Boy Blue, El Dorado, Strange Magic, perhaps maybe their biggest of all, Fire on High, Rockaria, Telephone Line, Mr. Kingdom, Mr. Blue Sky, One Summer Dream, Sweet Talking Woman, Don't Bring Me Down, which rounds out my top three when it comes to their songs. But Turn to Stone, that's the one. That's the one that will always be my favorite. And there are so many great singles that they had. Of course, Xanadu which was a duet they did with the legendary Olivia Newton-John. I mean, that's in my top five. But to me, of course, Turn to Stone was the best one they ever did, and of course, Evil Woman. That's my other big one there, and yeah. So Don't Bring Me Down. So Jeff Lynne, great seeing him. He looks great. I mean, they kicked ass. I mean, they did Evil Woman, like I said, and then they did the other big song there with Ed Sheeran there. I mean, one of the things I love about the Grammy Awards, real quick before we move on, Fletch, and I know you'll agree with me on this. I'll be surprised if you don't. I love the coming together of old school and new school talent. I mean, I love that more than anything else. When you see the legends of yesteryear teaming up with the biggest stars of today, like Ed Sheeran with ELO and and a whole lot more. I mean, great to. I mean, ACDC is one thing, but when you bring out freaking ELO, yes, that's going to be a mark out moment without a freaking doubt. So, so yeah, well done indeed. Great moment to say the very least, and it was definitely a nostalgic touch for me. And I mean, see, like I said, ACDC, that was a mark out moment, but come on, with these guys, that was bigger. That was bigger for me. Love these guys and love their music, and it was awesome. And Jeff Lynne, my man, you still got it. You still got it, brother. You still got it. All right, I think I'll stop. I think I'll stop marking out now. Okay, fine. Let's move on.
Well, the next award was for the best R&B performance, which actually went to Beyonce, the Queen Bee. We bow to you. Then we had a performance by Adam Levine and Gwen Stefani, and we were talking about this on the phone, and I think Anthony really got into this song. I loved the orchestra setup. I loved how I thought Adam Levine sounded so good on the song tonight, and so did Gwen Stefani. There's nothing you can do with the little lamb herself. She does nothing, nothing horrible. Tonight was a good performance for her. Definitely it was one of those songs that actually was, I've never heard of it before until tonight. But I thought they did a solid job of it. These two were mentors on the Voice this past season. Unfortunately, this upcoming season, Gwen Stefani is being replaced by Christina Aguilera, except Alan Levine is back with Pharrell and Blake Shelton, and that actually goes down in a couple of weeks. So, but I thought a solid performance. I loved it. Anthony was.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, this was a very good performance to say the very least. I mean, I agree. Adam sounded amazing. Gwen Stefani. Not only did she sound amazing, but she looked amazing as well. Wow, she looked absolutely stunning. And I asked about Madonna being 56. Are you sure Gwen Stefani's 45? She doesn't look it, man. She does not look it. I mean, she looks like she's 25 or 30, for God's sakes. I mean, still looks so amazing after all these years. I mean, and yes, I mean, they were both mentors on The Voice this past season. Neither of them won. It was Blake Shelton who came away with the trophy yet again. His artist, Craig Wayne Boyd. Remember that name because he's going to be a big star, I can tell you. From watching his performances on The Voice last season, absolutely amazing what that young man's done. Um, but anywho, yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have seen Gwen stay on The Voice, but it's great to have Christina Aguilera coming back. I mean, it's gonna be so nice to see her again, and of course Blake and Adam, of course, and bringing back Pharrell Williams. I mean, that's I'm looking forward to seeing how those four interact. So yeah, mark it down. 2 weeks from today, actually, February 23rd on NBC. Because we got a couple more weeks of The Celebrity Apprentice. Looking forward to seeing how that plays out. So, yeah, great performance. One of the top performances of the night, without a doubt. The arrangement was perfect. The vocals were perfect. So, definitely one of my top performances of the night. Probably in my top five. So, but that's it. Let's move on.
And then we get to a moment that probably will be talked about for years to come on the Grammy stage. And once Anthony always says, it only happens in the Grammys when you see somebody from the past teaming up with somebody from the present, maybe the future, and you see a magical moment when we're talking about Hostler and Annie Lennox. They tore the house down. Anthony, it's yours, my friend.
It's Hosier, first of all.
Hosier.
Yeah,
Hosier, my bad. Sorry.
no problem. No problem. Yes, Hosier. I mean, this young man, I'm telling you. I mean, I heard this song on The Voice during one of The Voice performances. I don't remember which show it was. I was on one of those Tuesday shows, one of those Tuesday results shows. I don't think it was the finale, or maybe it was the finale. I don't know. But his big hit, "Take Me to Church." I mean, I love the song. I love the arrangement of it. His vocal style is amazing, and then you bring out another one of my all-time favorites, another mark-out moment for me, Annie Lennox, best known for the Eurythmics with Dave Stewart, not the baseball pitcher Dave Stewart, another Dave Stewart. Uh, those two had magic hits, of course. "Sweet Dreams Are Made of These" and "Here Comes the Rain Again." Their two biggest ones. Everybody knows that. And then Annie Lennox went on to have a very successful solo career, which includes some of the great hits like "Walking on Broken Glass" and "Why," um, "Whiter Shade of Pale," "No More I Love Yous." I mean, just to name a few. And of course, "Put a Little Love in Your Heart," which he did with the Reverend Al Green from the Scrooge soundtrack, the Bill Murray film from yesteryear. So great to see her. I mean, she provided a little bit of some backing vocal on the "Take Me to Church," but then the performance of the night shortly after. And I know this is going to be a mark out moment for Michael Fletcher. Why? Because the song that Annie Lennox did, a personal favorite of Michael Fletcher. You can't. I mean, he's not on camera right now, but I swear to God, if you could see him right now, I bet you he's grinning like the Cheshire Cat and has a little bit of that Randy Orton Viper grin as well. If I know him, because I know this is I know this is one of his favorite songs. Annie Lennox performed her little version of "I Put a Spell on You," made famous by one of Michael Fletcher's personal favorites, Screamin' Jay Hawkins. And it was also remade during a few years back on American Idol, 4 years ago, I believe, with another one of Michael Fletcher's personal favorites, Casey Abrams, who I know Fletcher's a big fan of. And he tore that thing to shreds when he did it on the Idol stage. Casey Abrams, you're a very talented young man, but you got schooled by the legend in Annie Lennox. Annie Lennox, her version of "I Put a Spell on You" is, without a doubt, the performance of the night. Just like last week's Super Bowl, a five-star classic, and you had that feel of Shakespearean drama. Just absolutely amazing. Chalk up another one, another moment to the legacy that is Annie Lennox. And I know somewhere her partner in crime, Dave Stewart, he was probably like, "Well done, Mike." He was like, he probably channeled his inner Wayne's World by saying, "Good work, my friend," or something like that. But for me, it was a major well done. And while she'll always be best known for her songs as with the Eurythmics and her solo hits, Annie Lennox tonight, my friends. I mean, celebrated her just turned 60 on Christmas Day. Just coming off her 60th birthday a month and change ago. And for her to do that, oh, Scotland is proud tonight, because we all know she's from Scotland, Aberdeen, Scotland. I know that not only us here in America, but all over the world. I actually happen to know that Annie Lennox is also a personal favorite of my all-time favorite professional wrestler, Bret the Hitman Hart. I read a personality profile on Bret Hart in one of the old school WWE magazines when I used to collect those back in the day, and I clearly remember that he said that he was a fan of Annie Lennox's work, and quite frankly, I don't blame him, because I am too. But the respect and the love I had for this legendary woman tonight just went up a whole new level. Just went sky high after that performance tonight. Screaming Jay Hawkins and Casey Abrams, I bet somewhere we're doing another Wayne's World trait. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. We weren't worthy after that. And Michael Fletcher, you said it. Just like Dirk Nowitzki famously and eloquently said during a Dallas Mavericks game, which he was on commentary because he was out with an injury. Shut it down. Shut it down. Let's go home. Shut it down. I wish we could have shut it down after that, but unfortunately, we could not. So it was one of those five-star performances and one of those rare and one of a few times on this show tonight that left Michael Fletcher and I doing one simple thing. Well done. Performance of the night, 5 stars and beyond. I've already had 3 mark out moments, but I think right now, Michael Fletcher, I think it's time for you to have your first mark out moment of the night. So mark out and mark out like a crazy man, brother. Mikey, where are you? All right. I don't know where. Oh, there you are. All right. Fletch, if you're there. Okay, we've lost Michael Fletcher, unfortunately. Um, yes, but an amazing moment to say the very least. And this was definitely a moment that. Okay, there he is. All right, we got Fletch back in. So, all right, all right, my man. Time for you to have your first mark out moment. I already had 3. It's your turn now.
Yeah, no, this was definitely a markout moment for me tonight as well. Um, no, this was definitely a markout moment for me tonight as well, as Annie Lennox absolutely tore the house down. And she definitely tore the house down, no doubt about it. I mean, she had an absolute performance of a lifetime, and tonight she was definitely the mega star that we all expected her to be. And to me, I mean, she was awesome. She was amazing. She delivered, and then some. And yeah, she did Screaming Jay Hawkins, and I fell in love with it instantly. So no doubt about it, she definitely had the performance of the night, to say the very least. So we're just gonna move on right now, and the next thing we had was um the award for Best Country Album that went to Miranda Lambert. Congratulations, Miranda. And then Pharrell Williams did a new interpretation of his song Happy, and I thought he did a great job with it. You know, it was a little more different than the usual, but, you know, it got the people up out of their seats. They were dancing in the aisles at the Staples Center, and a lot of fans were definitely loving the performance. So, Anthony, what did you think about the performance of Pharrell Williams doing Happy?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was definitely another one of the top there. Not quite top 5, but I still thought it was a solid performance nonetheless. A nice little unique arrangement there. Well done there. And the outfit, the outfit was kind of questionable to be honest, but a little quirky and a little fruit loopy, if you will. But other than that, I mean, you know, his song "Happy," of course, one of the biggest hits of 2014, no question about it. He won a few Grammys for the song, which is not a big surprise because of how popular it was on mainstream radio and so much more. But you know, very nice interpretation indeed. And he's a very talented he's a very talented guy. I mean, from his time with the Neptunes and now with this, I mean, now of course, being the mentor on The Voice. I mean, he's doing some great things, my man. He's doing some great things. 43 years old. I mean, you would think he was a lot. I thought he was a lot younger than that, but I didn't know he was 43 years old until I looked him up on Wikipedia. But my goodness, but very good performance indeed. Not quite top 5, but almost there. But it was still one of the best. It was still a very good performance nonetheless. So top 10, yes. Top 5, no. So with that said, let us move on. All right. Don't think we might be. I think we might have lost him again. Uh,
Thing we had was a live performance by the legendary Katy Perry. So, what did you feel about that?
the Katy Perry performance. Yeah. Oh, wow. Tell you what. This definitely goes into the top five without question. Um,
There we go. Can you hear me now?
yeah, I hear you. Which Katy Perry, right? That what we're getting into? Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, no,
Katy Perry, right?
um, yes, Katy Perry is all yours.
Okay. Yes. Another one of the performances of the night, top five, without a doubt. Um, I, um, not close to Annie Lennox, but I will say this though, it was one of my top performances of the night. Definitely in the top five, like I said. Probably about a 4.5 star on that one, because she was a little bit shaky at times. But you know, what a great couple of weeks it's been for her. I mean, she tore it up at the Super Bowl uh, in Glendale, Arizona, a week ago. Uh, that grand finale, that was my favorite part of it, with the pyro going all around the University of Phoenix Stadium, brought back memories of WrestleMania 26, if you know what I mean. And this performance tonight, I mean, we all know, we all know how much of a how quirky and how much of a Fruit Loop this girl can be, even though she's a beauty. I'm not gonna lie there. She's a very beautiful girl, no doubt about it. Um, thing is though, she's out there, and she can be a weirdo at times. Everybody knows that, but we didn't see that side of her tonight. We saw the serious side of her, and that's why I loved it. I know Fletcher will probably be a little more critical of the performance than me, but thing is, I thought it was a well done performance. I would probably say right around the third or fourth best performance of the night for me. It's definitely in the top five without question. Not the performance of the night. That's Annie Lennox. Everybody knows that. But but this definitely top five for me. Sounded beautiful. Yes, she was shaky. She looked beautiful. She sounded beautiful. But it was preceded. Before that, you had a beautiful young lady come out talking about how she was a survivor of domestic violence, which is a major problem that has plagued this country for far too long, and something that needs to be abolished. Hopefully, that I mean, well, we all know
Especially
that's
this
probably,
year. Especially this year, it really came into the forefront.
especially in the NFL. Um, Especially in the NFL with those unfortunate incidents, which we've talked about enough over the
Yeah, we
past
don't
few
need to get
months.
into that tonight.
Hell no, we're not getting into that. So, but anyways, a beautiful, beautiful speech by the young lady who told her story. That was definitely a touching moment. And then for Katy Perry to follow it up with that beautiful performance that she did, I mean, just beautiful all around. Definitely, I mean, I got to put that in my top three, to be honest with you. Definitely in the top three, without question, because of the young lady who preceded her. So beautiful all around. 4.5 stars. It would have been five if she had been a little shaky at times, but if she had been spot on all the way, I probably would have had to consider it a toss up between her and Annie Lennox. It was that good. So, but for me, top three though, 4.5 stars. Well done, my dear. Great, great, great couple of weeks for you. First the Super Bowl, now the Grammys, and I know she's probably going to be going on tour sometime this year. So kick some ass and chew some bubblegum, baby girl. Let's move on.
Yes, indeed, and I agree. Katy Perry had a great performance. Yeah, I think she kind of got a little over emotional with the performance tonight. You could tell that she was really, trying to push it, trying to go for that Grammy moment, and she almost lost it there for a while. But I thought she did a great job. She handled it like a pro, like she always does, and she did a good job. Now, let's talk about a performance that is actually, well, very unique and only at the Grammys. Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, believe it or not, performing tonight. And I gotta say, I was really impressed with this. Tony Bennett, this guy is what, 80 years old? and he's still doing it, man. I was very impressed with him. I'm a good fan of Tony Bennett. Actually, my grandfather um, lives in Pennsylvania, is a big Tony Bennett guy, so big ups to him. And of course, Lady Gaga. You know, we see the craziness, we see the outlandish, the outrageous outfits, a la Katy Perry, and we know how kooky and crazy that she can get. She was very demure. She was very like this was a side of Gaga I think none of us have ever seen before, and thumbs up. That's what I gotta say. Thumbs up. Two thumbs up. Way way up. Good performance. Top five performance of the night for me. Anthony, what do you say?
I say number five on the list. No question about it. Um, Definitely in the top five as well. I mean, I agree with you on everything you said about Lady Gaga. I mean, for so many years, like Katy Perry, quirky, a Fruit Loop at times, but no, I mean, she looked beautiful, sounded beautiful, and yeah, very demure indeed. I mean, we went old school, and then they had a nice little dance moment, and then but they had a little swing dance there, or a little Vietnamese waltz, if you will. I mean, I thought that was a nice touch. Let me tell you something about Tony Bennett. Um, Over 80 years old, you're right, Fletch, but the exact age, get this. He's 88 years old and he's still doing this. I mean,
Wow.
can you believe that? 88. August 3rd, 1926. That's his
And
DOB right
and
there.
he still sounds amazing after all these
Absolutely.
years. That's remarkable. 88 young and he's still doing it.
You
God
want
bless
another number?
him.
I got another number for you. 88 is his age. You know how long he's been in this business? How many years has he been in this business? Well, here comes the number, folks. 65. 65 years he has been doing this. Since 1949, he has been, you know, touching our hearts. And, you know, New York City, I mean, you know, he was actually, he was in World War II. Great story there. Um, and of course, it all started for him in 1949. Um, Pearl Bailey recognized his talents and asked him to open for her in Greenwich Village. And she had also invited another living legend, Bob Hope, hello, to the show. And and the name Tony Bennett actually was given to him by Bob Hope. Yes, true story. And then in 1950, Tony Bennett did he cut a demo of a song called Boulevard of Broken Dreams. No, not the Green Day version. Uh, an original Boulevard of Broken Dreams, and then was signed to a major record label. I'm pretty sure you've heard of this one, Columbia Records. Columbia Records.
Mhm.
Anyone? By Mitch Miller. And the rest, they say, is history. I left my heart in San Francisco. Probably the song that he'll forever be known for. And then so many. I mean, I could go on and on, but we don't have that kind of time. But I'll tell you what, though. I mean, 18-time Grammy Award winner, which includes a Lifetime Achievement Award. The Lifetime Achievement Award came back in 2001, and left my heart in San Francisco. He won for that. He's also won for Perfectly Frank, Stepping Out, traditional pop vocal performances in '93 and '94, '95. He won for Unplugged. He did an Unplugged show, which also won Album of the Year. And then Here's to the Ladies, Tony Bennett on Holiday, Bennett Sings Ellington, Hot and Cool, the Lifetime Achievement Award, Playing with My Friends, Bennett Sings the Blues, Wonderful World with Katie Lang, The Art of Romance, Duets, an American Classic. He was one for that. Uh, um, he did a collaboration with another living legend, Stevie Wonder. They did their little take on For Once in My Life. They one of Stevie Wonder's biggest hits. They won a Grammy for that in 2007, and then 2012 he won for Best Pop Duo Group Performance with the late great Amy Winehouse, Body and Soul, and then also same year won a Grammy for Traditional Pop Vocal Album. That's pretty much what a lot of these Grammys were for. Duets too, and then this year He won one this year, cheek to cheek, him and Lady Gaga. So
It, and actually, they performed. That was the song they performed tonight at the
indeed,
Grammys. That was a song.
indeed they
So
did.
yes, they actually did win a Grammy here tonight. So they are Grammy winners.
And before we move on, did you know that this man, this legend, has released over 70 albums
Wow.
during his career? Almost all of them for Columbia Records. The biggest selling, of course, I Left My Heart in San Francisco, Unplugged, and Duets, an American Classic. All went platinum for shipping 1 million copies. 8 other albums have gone gold, including several compilations. He's also charted over 30 singles in his career, with his biggest hits all occurring during the early 50s, and then none really charting between 1968 and 2010. But, I mean, to close it out, I said this to Fletch, and I'm going to share this with you guys. Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, I gotta be honest with you. I consider them the Johnny Weir and Tara Lipinski of the music world. Now, he may not be a weirdo like Johnny Weir is at times, but you know, he's still holding it down, man. I mean, 88 years old and still doing this at a high level. I mean, and 65 years in the business. I mean, definitely a big hit. You know, me coming from an Italian family, I mean, of course he's big in my family, no question about that. My grandmother mainly, but boy, you know, one of the all-time greats. Major love, major respect to him, and Lady Gaga, of course, sky's the limit for her. She's still a relatively young lady, 20. She's only 28 years old, but you know, she hasn't been around nearly as long as him, but you know, she's gone from being a quirky weirdo to, you know, much more matured, much more toned down, and quite frankly, this side of Lady Gaga, I love it, absolutely love it. I wasn't really too keen on the quirky weirdo side of her, but seeing as how she is nowadays, seeing the real her, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I don't know what else there is to say, but another great Professor moment for me. So with that said, did you give your thoughts on this yet? Yeah, you
Yes, I
did, right?
did. I gave it
Oh,
already. The next performance we had was Eric Church. He performed tonight, and I think me and Anthony can both agree he did a very good job. Really nothing to really add to him. He definitely is a bright star in the country music business, and he is definitely going to be a major player for years and years to come. So we're just going to move right on to the next performance, and this is the one I think Anthony was going to want to get into. Brandy Clark performed, but it wasn't Brandy Clark that really stole the show. It was who she was with is what made this moment a Grammy moment. So Anthony, why don't you elaborate on that a little bit?
yes. But before I do, you forgot about me when it came to the Eric Church moment, unless you
Yeah.
just wanted to move on from that. But
No, I just wanted to move on because I thought you and
okay,
I was going to agree that it was a good
yeah,
performance, nothing
yeah,
that were
not
really.
quite top 5, but
Yeah.
thing is with him, he looks like a young Ringo Starr.
Yeah,
Simple.
I
I
actually
mean,
mentioned that on Facebook too.
yes,
Yeah,
I noticed that. I noticed that. But yeah, solid performance from Eric Church. Definitely not top 5, but was good, not great. So moving on from that, yes, Brandy Clark. Um, one of we definitely have a rising star on our hands in another beautiful young lady. Um, well, about 37, 38 years old, actually. Um, you know, um, she was up for the best new artist. I mean, she's a country music singer-songwriter. She's actually had songs recorded by Sheryl Crow, Miranda Lambert, the band Perry, Reba McEntire, Leanne Rimes, Billy Currington, Darius Hootie Rucker, and Casey Musgraves, just to name a few. And yeah, I mean, she sounded beautiful. She had a great performance tonight. But to me, what was really cool, another old school, new school collaboration. She's the new school when it comes to country music. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight she performed with country music royalty. I don't care. I don't give a crap what any of you say. I consider this gentleman country music royalty. Uh, the, with who she did tonight. She was with Dwight Yoakam tonight, guys. Dwight Yoakam, one of the greatest one of the greatest country music superstars of all time. I mean, I mean, this guy was, big during, I mean, my grandmother and my aunt were huge, huge fans. I mean, I remember the car rides I used to go on with these two. Um, and they used to, play Cat Country 98.1, which is still going strong to this day, of course, here in Rhode Island. And I swore, not one car ride went by without hearing one Dwight Yoakam song. I mean, it was definitely a beautiful performance. Um, Dwight Yoakam, 58 years old. I mean, since the early 80s, has recorded more than 21 albums and compilations, charted more than 30 singles on the Billboard Hot Country Songs charts, sold more than 25 million records, has recorded count them, 5 Billboard #1 albums, 12 gold albums, 9 platinum albums, including the triple platinum this time. And in addition to his many achievements in the performing arts, he was also the most frequent musical guest in the history of The Tonight Show, dating back to Johnny Carson, Jay Leno. I don't know if he's been on the Fallon version yet. But
No, he has not been on Fallon.
yeah, I figured that, because that's fairly recent. But of course, he was on with, of course, the legendary Johnny Carson and Jay Leno. I mean, he's a 2-time Grammy Award winner, winning for best male country vocal performance in '94 with "Ain't That Lonely Yet." And then in 1999, he won a Grammy for best country collaboration with vocals with Same Old Train, shared with multiple artists, and also won an Americana Music Award for Artist of the Year just 2 years ago, 2013. But he's been nominated for several Grammys. Unfortunately, came up short, but, he's released quite a few studio albums, released a Christmas album in '97, 4 cover albums, 6 compilations, 2 international releases. He's been in movies. He was even in Terminator 2, for God's sakes. Terminator 2. He was in that movie. And, he's also in 4 Christmases, just to name another, film that he's been in. He's been in several movies. He's also guest starred on television, Hee Haw, P.S. I Love You, Ellen, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, King of the Hill, did a voice, Dinner for Five, Wilfred, and most recently played Lyle Chumley on the hit CBS summer series Under the Dome. Did that for 7 shows. So, if that's not country music royalty, folks, then you tell me what the hell is country music royalty, because the list of accomplishments I just laid off for the great Dwight David Yoakam. That's a who's who right there. So, beautiful performance. This one just missed the top 5 based on the body of work of the top 5 I had. This is number 6 for me. Brandy sounded beautiful. He sounded great as well. And like I said, old school, new school collaborations. There's nothing like them, man. I love those. Seeing, like I said, Dwight Yoakam, living legend in the world of country music royalty, and then seeing the future of country music in Brandy Clark. Beautiful performance. Just missed the top 5 only because of the body of work of, who I have in my top 5. Annie Lennox, Katy Perry, Tony Bennett, and Lady Gaga. And then, the 2 performances that closed out this show. Spoiler alert. So with that said, Fletch, your thoughts on Brandy Clark working with country music royalty? Dwight Yoakam, dude.
No, you said it best. It was a solid performance. Brandy Clark, first time being on the Grammy stage, and she did not disappoint. She's definitely got a bright future, even though I'm a little surprised. I actually thought she was a lot younger than being in her 40s, but that's the magic of music. Sometimes you get a moment in time. If you deliver, then you're going to be remembered forever. And to have like you said, probably one of the greatest country music performers of our time in Dwight Yoakam, yeah, you're gonna get some notoriety, especially in Nashville. There's gonna be a lot of people talking about it in the weeks and months to come. Next up, we had a this is a once in a lifetime Grammy moment. Kanye West, Rihanna, and Sir Paul McCartney performing together. Definitely a highlight of, at least for me, definitely a major highlight. Rihanna sounded very good.
Yeah, definitely a very good performance there too. Um, I mean,
Um, yeah,
oh,
I thought it was a solid performance. So I loved what Rihanna did. I love what Kanye did, and Paul McCartney. I thought they did a very good job. At least in my opinion, this was top five performance. I know Anthony might not be, but for me, this was, I think, like number five on my list. So Anthony,
yeah, it's another one that just missed the top five. I would say right around 6 or 7, around with Brandy Clark and Dwight Yoakam. I mean, Sir Paul McCartney. I mean, his resume reads like a who's who as well. Um, the Beatles, enough said, um, and you know him and John Lennon. The Lennon McCartney songbook, greatest songbook ever written. Hello, um, and a songbook that Fletch and I, definitely we preach off of that. So that's our Bible, if you will, no doubt, in the music world anyway. Um, Ranks right up there with the Glenn Frey and Don Henley songbook from the Eagles. Hello, those were the two greatest songbooks ever written. I don't care what anybody says. Um, but nonetheless, um, Paul McCartney, personal favorite of mine. I know yours too, Fletch. Not just because of the Beatles, but also his solo work as well. Various duets. He's worked with other artists in the past, like Michael Jackson, the late great Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder. Um, just to name a couple there. And then his band Wings, after the Beatles, his solo band Wings, which included his late wife Linda. I mean, just absolutely incredible. His body of work that speaks for itself, and you know, his epic performance of Freedom at Super Bowl 36, which ranks as one of my all-time favorite performances of his. And then, of course, Kanye, Noggin Diva. I'm not going to get into that. And like I said, I can't stand him. Um, so get out with that. Rihanna, I mean, beautiful young lady out of Barbados. I mean, you know, she's been a megastar. She's right up there. With she kind of reminds me of a Beyonce, to be honest with you. I mean, her and Beyonce. I mean, those two. When it comes to the R&B, the hip hop, and all that good stuff. I mean, those two are the 1A and 1B. They're the queens of that. There's no question about it. I mean, Beyonce's the queen, Rihanna's the princess. Simple as that. So, and like I said, I can't stand Kanye, but Paul McCartney though, mad love, mad respect. Um, One of my all-time personal favorites. Fletch, you know that more than anybody. Um, from the solo work and the Wings, and of course the Beatles. Enough said. Lennon McCartney songbook, one of the greatest songbook of all time. You know, even though there've been other great songbooks over the years, but the Lennon McCartney one, that's untouchable. No one's ever going to touch that. Even if you and I, decided, hey, let's start writing songs together. Let's start writing songs tomorrow. Huh? You think the Fletcher Florio songbook will outsell the Lennon McCartney songbook? In a word, nope, not even close. So with that said, solid performance though. It was kind of shaky for me at times. I can't quite put it top five, but it's definitely right around 6 or 7. So with that said, let's move on.
here's probably one that's gonna be a top five candidate, no doubt about it. Sam Smith with Mary J. Blige. They performed "Stay With Me," the song that made Sam Smith a household name and actually garnered him a trunk load of awards here tonight. Anthony, the performance, what do you feel?
I would have to say this was the second best performance of the night.
I agree.
I still think the Annie Lennox one was better, just by a smidge. Um, I would say right around 4 3/4 to 5 stars on this one. I mean, at worst 4 3/4. I mean, a beautiful performance. Now I get it. I mean, for the longest time I wondered why does everybody love this guy so much? But after hearing this song live for the first time, I mean, I've only heard the studio version many times, but hearing this song live, now I get it. I get it now. A beautiful performance to say the very least. And then, I mean, he's one thing, but when you throw in, you know, one of the living legends of R&B and hip hop in Mary J. Blige, who I respect very greatly and immensely, mainly because of the collaboration that she did with U2 years back with the One song, which was epic to say the very least. But this performance definitely epic. I'll tell you right now, if any Lennox hadn't blown us all away with the I Put a Spell on You Tonight, I honestly could have considered this the performance of the night. That's how great it was. Sam Smith sounded great. Mary J sounded great. The choir sounded amazing. You know, it was one of those take me to church moments, and this wasn't the only take me to church moment. There were more. There will be more take me to church moments throughout this, but this was the first of many take me to church moments. Flex, they took me to church tonight, and I loved it. What say
All
you?
right. Well, I agree. I'm a big fan of Sam Smith. I fell in love with him during the VMAs. He performed this song live at the Video Music Awards this past year as they were in New York, and he absolutely tore the house down. It was an amazing performance, one to remember, and then to add Mary J. Blige. And I remember them doing a duet of this very song, and it was even spectacular then. It was better live tonight. Definitely top five performance, top three, I would even say, at least in my book. Great performance by Sam Smith and Mary J. They left me like standing ovation, no doubt about it. Um, the next performance we had was Juanes. For all you people who don't really know him, Juanes is a monster megastar from Colombia. Basically, he's actually a rock. He actually does what they call rock in tropical rock in Colombia, and he's really being compared as the biggest star in Colombia, no doubt about it. And he has won multiple Grammy Awards. He won again tonight. Uh, and he is the all-time record leader for most Latin Grammys in the history of Latin Grammys, and he has won more Grammys internationally than any other uh, singer songwriter in the history of Colombia. So he is definitely world renowned, and he had a great performance tonight. Anthony, what did you think about it? Like quickly.
Solid performance, though. It wasn't it wasn't the greatest, but I don't know much about him as you do.
Mm.
Obviously, you're more of a professor on Juanes than I am, considering that's right up your alley, um, with the heritage, especially the Colombian thing. So you, you referred to him as the king of Colombia when it comes to the music world. That's how
Absolutely.
you refer to him as the king and Shakira as the queen. And I asked you if they've ever worked together, and you just said yes, and like, okay, you know more about this than I do, so maybe you like to enlighten me on that. But other than
Well, I
that,
think
solid performance.
yeah. Well, I'll enlighten you. During our pro scheme chat or our private chat. I just want to get right through it. The next thing we had was the album of the year, and surprise, surprise, you want to call upset? Beck wins the Grammy. Anthony, what is your feeling about this stunning upset? Tony?
Yeah, I just had to take care of something on the other end here.
Oh,
What are we
that's
talking
okay.
about?
We were talking about the album of the year and Beck winning the title.
Yes, this was the mark out moment when it comes to the awards side of things. I mean, we talked about it. I mean, we were like, well, look who the nominees were. I mean, Ed Sheeran. Enough said. His body of work. One of the fastest rising stars I can remember in a long time. Sam Smith. Enough said there. Uh, Beyonce. Uh, and who else was there? It was Beyonce,
Beyonce?
Sam Smith. Yeah, Beyonce, Sam Smith. Uh, damn. Oh, Pharrell. Wasn't it Pharrell? Yeah, I think it was Pharrell.
Yeah, Pharrell Williams was also nominated, yeah, in this category, yes.
Yeah, Pharrell, Ed Sheeran, Sam Smith, and Beyonce. Four of the biggest names in the music world today. Beck, you remember Beck? He was relevant in the '90s. Had his first big hit, "Loser," back in '94. Then of course his breakout album, "Orale," back in 1996, which garnered his biggest hit of all time, "Where It's At," two turntables and a microphone. Uh, I'll tell you what, he was not a loser tonight, folks. He was the big winner, the biggest winner to me. Fletch, I'm going to share this with you, and I'm going to share it with our viewers here. This win tonight, I bet, will go down to me as the second biggest upset in the history of the Grammy Awards. You're saying there was an even bigger upset than this? Oh yes, just a few years ago. Esperanza Spalding and Esperanza Spalding did the unthinkable and won the Best New Artist award when we all thought there was only one annoying, irritating little brat that was going to win this award. An annoying, irritating, pesky little brat by the name of Justin Bieber. We all thought he was going to win that award. When they were about to announce the winner, Flex and I were saying, Justin Bieber, yeah, let's let this whole overhyped and overrated BS begin. Esperanza Spalding, what? Yes. I was generally thrilled on that night. But this, Beck, let me tell you something. A fun performer. He had already won the rock album, but to win this, wow, against these four super heavyweights, in Pharrell Williams, and Ed Sheeran, Sam Smith, and Beyonce, what? Who does that? Who knocks those four off? Wow. He had the two turntables and a microphone working the night, folks. Let me tell you. He was not a loser. He doesn't really have a devil's haircut, but orale, viva la raza. Well done. Congratulations, Beck. Cherish this one. You got something you can brag about. You got bragging rights now, dude. To say, I beat out Beyonce, Sam Smith, Ed Sheeran, and Pharrell Williams to win the album of the year, one of the most coveted Grammy, one of the big four, one of the four major Grammy awards, and he did it. If Esperanza Spalding didn't beat out Justin Bieber for Best New Artist a few years back, I would have considered this the biggest upset in the history of the Grammy Awards. Well done, sir. Well done.
Stunning upset. Nothing more to say about it. Yeah, it floored me. I think the reaction from me said it all. I was like, no, you gotta be kidding me. Beck wins. I was actually speechless. Anthony Florio was laughing at me the whole time as I'm literally trying to wrap my head around Beck being named the album of the year. It was definitely a shocker. It was definitely a moment in time. Like Anthony said, an upset that's going to be all over the water coolers. And let me tell you, there's a lot of backlash right now coming from a lot of the fans. A lot of people did not believe Beck deserved that award. And some people are saying that, oh, it should have gone to Beyonce. It should have gone to Sam Smith. There's a lot of people very upset that Beck won tonight. Hey, we're not voters. Sorry guys, we got nothing to do with this. So the next thing we had was Saya. She's actually an Australian performer, and she is very unique. Let's just say it like that. And her performance tonight, well, left nothing to the imagination. Probably one of the most interesting, visually unique performances of the night. And I know Anthony Florio at the end was saying, "What the heck did we just witness?" But Anthony, I'll let you elaborate. I thought it was a decent performance. Actually, Kaiser Butler loved the performance tonight on our text, on my text chat with her. But what say you? What did you think about it?
We went somewhere tonight with this. One place that has become very famous or infamous by virtue of a meme on Mimi Jean Okerlund, our favorite news site. Well, not so new because it's been around for a little bit now. You know where we went with this performance tonight by Sia? Even though I respect the hell out of her, she's written some great songs for some great artists such as Christina Aguilera and whatnot. We went to a certain place, folks. Like I said, Mimi Jean has made this famous now, or infamous over the last year or so. We were in Bizarro World tonight, folks. Bizarro World. Because this performance was bizarre with a capital B. That's what that was. I mean, like I said, I respect her. I respect what she's done for the business. Like I said, she's written some great songs. Like I said, Christina Aguilera, just to name somebody. But, whoa, wow. Unique, indeed. Quirky. A little weird. But, you know, some of those folks that, that can be quirky and weird, those are the same folks that can be described as one other word. And that word is gifted. So, gifted performer. It was just very bizarre for me. So, solid performance, I will admit it. So, there's really nothing left to say except we were in Bizarro World for that good few minutes. Nice place, Bizarro World. Pretty cool. We should have got some souvenirs. So let's just move on.
Oh yeah, we should have. The next thing we had was the song of the year. That actually went to Sam Smith. That meant he took down two of the three major awards, with one still coming up, which was Record of the Year. Did he get it? We'll give you that in just a few minutes. And the next performance was actually Beck, off the heels of winning Album of the Year, got to perform live on the Grammy stage with Chris Martin from Coldplay. So Anthony, what did you think about that performance?
Oh, I loved it. It was great. Really, really good. I mean, I love the style. I love the arrangement. I thought both men sounded really good. When it comes to the top five, I might have to put a tie in there somewhere because I think I got to include this as one of my top five. I would probably say it was tied for maybe fourth or fifth, to be honest with you. I mean, because this was really, really well done, and like I said, I mean, this is the style of music that I love. I love the singer-songwriter style, just a guy and his guitar and everything else. I mean, Beck sounded great. Chris Martin of Coldplay sounded great. The arrangement, the way the song sounded, came off really good. And from a personal standpoint, as a guy who loves singer-songwriter music, this was a personal favorite performance of mine tonight. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. And Beck, have yourself a night, my man. Have yourself a night. That's exactly what you did. Winning the coveted album of the year, winning the rock album of the year as well. I mean, just amazing. Damn good performance. Definitely a personal favorite of mine. I was definitely having some fun with it as we were watching it live. So, personal favorite performance of mine, without question. Loved it, loved it, loved it. What say you, Fletch?
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a solid performance. It was good. I like Chris Martin from Coldplay. Beck, I'm lukewarm about Beck. Um, I liked his earlier music, some of his newer stuff, not so much, but he had a night to remember. And whenever you win Album of the Year, when you capture one of the big four, that's huge. But to win Album of the Year, I consider that the biggest of them all. I mean, that's without a doubt a night to remember for him, no doubt about it. But one other person who's going to have a night to remember, Sam Smith as well. He won for Record of the Year. Think about that, guys. He won three of the four major awards. He won for Best New Artist, he won for Song of the Year, and he won for Record of the Year. Sam Smith, no doubt about it. Plus, on top of that, he won one other award. He was nominated for six. He goes home with four statues tonight. Definitely the man of the night, to say the very least. And then the final two performances was basically lumped together in about less than in almost a 6 to 8 minute span. We had Beyonce, which took us back to church again, and then we had Common and John Legend that closed the show. So Anthony, why don't you give us your thoughts about that, and we'll wrap it up from here.
I got to put this in the top three. I got to say this was, third third best performance of the night, tied for third. These two are. Um, if Sam Smith and Annie Lennox hadn't blown us away, this definitely could have made a case for performance of the night, without a doubt. Great way to close the show. Uh, what else is there to say about Beyonce? I mean, this girl can sing. We all know that. I mean, we saw with Destiny's Child, and then when she went solo, I mean, just absolutely incredible. I mean, she had this all male choir, I suppose you could say, backing her up, but a 12-man choir. They came off great. She came off amazing as always. I mean, you could make a case for this to be the performance of the night. This song was, and she took us to church. This was another take us to church performance right here, man. I mean, it's absolutely incredible there. I mean, but like I said, if it wasn't for Annie Lennox and with the "I Put a Spell on You" and Sam Smith and Mary J. Blige with the "Stay with Me," I would have considered this the performance of the night, honestly. But those two's body of work was just a little bit better. Um, I would say right around four and a quarter, four and a half, maybe more like 4.5 to 4.75 stars for Beyonce there, with a little case for five as well. Common and John Legend, uh, the Glory song from the Glory, um, just incredible there. They came off great. I mean, Common, doing the rap in there, and John Legend doing the vocalizing. Both men sounded great. Even though I'm not diehard fans of these two, um, I thought not really into Common, to be honest with you. I do have a little thing for John Legend though. Um, he was another one who we saw at the Super Bowl last week. He did America the Beautiful, just like he did at WrestleMania 24. Um, which were my two favorite all-time performances by John Legend. And of course, I definitely love his song "All of Me," which you of course wrote for his wife, Sports Illustrated model Chrissy Teigen, who has become a major name in the modeling world. And she's exploded. She's become a mega star right before our very eyes. Uh, Very beautiful young lady, and I know a personal favorite of yours, Fletch. I know how much you love that gal. So yes, very, very well done to say the very least. There was so many great performances tonight. Very hard, very difficult to rank them, but there was no doubt Annie Lennox was the show stealer tonight, um, with the performance of "I Put a Spell on You" with Hosier, and then of course Sam Smith and Mary J. Blige with "Stay with Me." Very beautiful, well done there. Beyonce with the choir there, well done there. Common and John Legend, very good job with those two. They had a male choir of their own with them. They sounded great. They came off great with the Glory song. Katy Perry, uh, preceded by the young lady, the domestic. You know what? I'm actually gonna do a little rearranging here. I'm gonna put Beyonce and Katy Perry tied for number three. I'm gonna put Common and John Legend right around the fourth spot, and and I don't know what else I had, but there were just so many that there was 23 altogether, as I recall. So it's hard to rank them all, but they all a lot of these came out really well. I didn't see the Ariana Grande one. I'm sure it was good because we all know this young lady can sing. We all know that from her time on Victorious. That's when Flex, you and I, well, mainly you, fell in love with the young lady because of her role as Cat Valentine on that show, and then of course Sam and Cat after that with Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly fame. So yeah, but I'm sure it was a great performance. I mean, like I said, this girl can sing. Everybody knows that, and she has become one of the biggest stars, if not the biggest young
Some
female star in
some
the music
people are
world.
comparing her as a very young Mariah Carey. I
Oh,
mean,
you kidding me?
yeah, no, a lot of people are comparing her to being a very young, fresh, talented Mariah Carey when Mariah first came out when she was only 21 years old.
And she's 21 years old too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't see that, but I'm sure it was amazing. So I think that was really pretty much the only performance I missed. I pretty much saw everything else. The statues handed out. Um, to sum it all up, let me just say it like this: I can't give you a so and so out of 10, but I know we're not probably doing that. But let me just say it like this: last year we had to miss out on the Grammy Awards because some idiots decided to schedule it on the same night as the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, and we had to put that first, because we do the Wrestling Forum recap. Yeah, I had to miss out on that show last year. Well, I think I might have DVR'd it or try to so I could check it out afterwards. But let me tell you, it was well worth the 1 year wait. Put it on at this time of the year. This is the exact time of the year you should do it after the Super Bowl and everything else. And this 57th annual Grammy Awards, one of the greatest Grammy Awards shows I have seen in a very long time. Just as great as the Super Bowl last week. A lot of Shakespearean drama. We had a major surprise with Beck winning Album of the Year. Like I said, second biggest upset in history, only behind Esperanza Spalding over Justin Bieber for Best New Artist. And so many great performances. And it was just an all-around great night at Staples Center. LL Cool J, great job hosting. And, to all of you men and women out there in the music world, applaud yourselves because you hit it out of the park tonight. Damn good Grammy Awards show. Best one I've seen in a long time. I don't know what else there is to say. Michael Fletcher, let's just put the bow on this thing.
All right, we will put a bow on it. And yes, it was a great night. Music's greatest night delivers and then some. All right, so that's it for now. So tomorrow is the Wrestling Forum with Derek Ferreira, Michael Bullock, myself, and Anthony Florio. We'll be recapping Monday Night Raw at 11 p.m. Eastern. And until then, for all of us here, for Anthony Florio, I'm Michael Fletcher. You know the routine. Everybody. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it on Fortune Forest style. Bye for now. Hugs and hand pounds, everybody. Good night. As you've been watching a special edition of the Mikey's Mindset, the recap of the Grammy Awards 2015. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye for now.